I got my drink and my two-step. Welcome to the Team Old Happy Hour.
Well, the top side streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake so Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Happy Hour Show. Cheers from all of us here at Team Hold. Bang. Look at that sticker. You're going to see that in real life if you're in Vegas. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. Who do we got in the house today? I say Chewy's up in here. Borland's here. Big Heck Money. Devla. Top Shot Life. Eagle Putt. Chunk. Airplane Mode. Mike's here. Jump Shooty. Federico. Yadi's here. Guanamo 83. What's up? Jump Shoot says Mike says something new at the start of each time. It never shows up for me, so I have to scoop back and then hit live. Ooh, interesting. Okay, maybe I need to take a longer pause. Well, today I said I've got my drink and my two-step. Welcome to the Team Old Happy Hour. So there you go. Ricky Ricardo's here. Garen's here. We, the peeps. Good to see everybody. All right, let's get into some stuff. Let's get those likes up. We've got James is going to be joining us in a little bit. Still waiting to hear back if we're going to see a Mihal sighting. We might not. It's unclear right now. But we had some fun free agency news happen in the last few days. By few days, I mean few hours. So we'll talk about that. We're going to take a look at a bunch of the different challenges and stuff. Also, hey, last call. Not last call. I forgot. We get some freaking giveaways today, too, because we saved some shit from this morning. That's the big brain energy you're getting here today. So let me go ahead. We're going to start up the StreamYard giveaway here, and we're going to run it back like we did this morning for some more Borland love, because we want to make sure our man Borland takes down whatever this NFL All Day giveaway thing is. So here we go. We're going to like the stream, subscribe. I'm going to drop a link into the chat in a second. That's going to take you right to the NFL All Day thing. So that way you can get that sweet vote in for Borland. And that's only if you're verified. So go ahead and do that. I'm dropping that into the chat right now. All right, let's talk about some of the moves that happened today. So, and most of them were Boston related, and we love that. We love that. Also, breaking news, one of my WPT NFTs just sold. I just got a text about that, Dave. That's how big brain Theta is. They just straight up texting you when you sell stuff. So the first thing that popped this morning as a Celtics fan, how about that? What do you think about that? Let's put the chain on, baby. Chain gang's here. Here over at Team Hold, we are on chain. Web3 to the moon. So they signed Gallinari for a little free agent deal, which was like pretty good. It was a two-year spot, I think. So they scooped up Gallo, which is like a nice, like, what's it called? Blah, 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 blah. Bench player. I think that's going to be great. Airplane Mode's like, we're going to talk World Poker Tour NFTs? Not yet, baby. Not yet. But man, what was huge, the trade came in. The Celtics dealt out their 30. God, what is going on with my words? Their first round pick for 2023, Aaron Nesmith and G Dunn's Daniel Tice for Malcolm Brogdon of the Indiana Pacers, which is a huge get for the Celtics. The fact that they gave up two dudes who had no impact whatsoever when it mattered the most this year for, I wouldn't say like a tier 1 point guard, but like a solid really good point guard if he's healthy. And that's the big if with Brogdon. Brogdon continues to have injury stuff, but man, he makes a ton of sense. A 6'5" point guard, that is going to be a long-ass team. When you think about the starting five for the Celtics right now, we're talking Smart and Borland in the Aaron Borland, congratulations. You are starting for the Celtics. No, but we're talking Brogdon and Smart, and then you got Tatum and Brown with Robert Williams playing the 5. Coming off the bench, we've got Gallo, you got Al Horford, Grant Williams, Derek White. Like, that is a deep-ass team. I imagine they go – I know there's been rumored to grab Thomas Bryant for the vet minimum. Lots of stuff, lots of potential moves still to go. But, man, I think, like, the biggest thing – Brad Stevens has now traded, what was it? He traded a first-round pick for Al Horford. He traded a first-round pick to get rid of Kemba Walker. Or was that the same deal? Were those the same firsts? No, I'm sorry. It was for the first for Al, the first for Derek White, and now a first for Brogdon. Mike says Horford probably starts over Brogdon. That's interesting. I guess so. But, man, I love it. As a Celtics fan, just like deep. We got Kawhisenberg in here. Kawhisenberg, aren't you busy right now? Don't you have stuff going on? I thought Kawhisenberg had something, which makes me want to look it up right now live to see if it's happening in the streets right now. So I'm just gonna keep vamping while I see if it's happening. But yeah, those are some pretty big moves that happened today. Other than that, like, I'm not really sure if there was anything else sexy that happened today. Okay, hold on. Here we go. No, it didn't. It didn't happen yet. It didn't happen yet. All right, I'll look back later. What else do we have? First round pick sucks. I like that. What are we drinking this afternoon? Yeah, we're drinking for today's happy hour. We've got a Bronx Summer, I believe. Is it a Bronx Summer? What do we have? I'm sorry. Yeah, Five Boroughs Brewing Summer Ale. That's what we're rocking with today. That is what. Wow, come on, focus, camera. This camera's like worth $8 million. Come on, you know what? The camera's like, we're gonna focus on Zakarian instead. Anyways, that's exciting stuff. I mean, any way you slice it, the Celtics got a lot better. They addressed a lot of the issues they had, man. They really did. I mean, hey, Malcolm Brogdon can dribble. That's huge news for the Celtics. Multiple guys on one team that can dribble the basketball. Whew. But to think that, this team's straight off the finals and managed to get a little bit better, I think that's pretty solid. One of the other moves that happened today was Kevin Huerter made his way over to the Kangs. So I know the Kangs Nation is pretty pumped about that. I thought that was a pretty good move. I was hoping Huerter was going to come on over to the C's too, but not yet. So what are we waiting on, right? We're still waiting on the Zach LaVine stuff. Still seems pretty quiet, right? Zach LaVine still seems pretty quiet. The Kevin Durant thing, I feel like, is going to take a long time to work itself out. Also, can we talk about Brian Windhorst? What show did Brian Windhorst watch before he went on ESPN today? That was wild, right? Brian Windhorst almost like was a character of someone that I've created when, like, reading tweets from the chat. What did they do? That was wild. That was really wild. Or people saying Levine signed. Did he sign today? Did I miss that? Zion's about to sign. Yeah, that's another one. But yeah, man, the Windhorst thing was wild today. Basically, I think his point was he was insinuating the Jazz are about to blow it up. Can somebody ask Windhorst why he wasn't allowed to say that? Like, it felt like he was like, I can't say it, but can you put these pieces together? I thought that was pretty clear what he was saying. I don't know why everyone was having a tough time with it. But yeah, it looks like I think he was insinuating that Rudy and Donovan will both be on their way out because Danny Ainge does like to throw dynamite into stuff. All right, so Levine got the Supermax 5 for $215. Interesting. All right. Yeah, the Jazz thing will be. I'm excited to see what the Jazz are going to do. I really am. I mean, is Donovan on his way? Is Donovan on his way to New York? Is that what's happening? We're going to have a Donovan, Brunson, RJ, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, Stain coming off the bench. Interesting. I don't know. Where do we think do the Knicks still have enough room to make that happen? Can that still work? Bo Cruz still available. Bo Cruz still available. You know what I would love if, honestly, I really would love this. If Juancho Hernan Gomez was like, you know what? I'm taking my talents to Hollywood. And I'm not talking about the Lakers, and I'm not talking about the Clippers. I've signed with CAA as an actor, and I'm going to focus solely on acting. I would love if he did that. I'm tired of being your eighth man when I can be a leading man, okay? I think that's what Juancho needs to do next. Kawhi's birthday. Okay, he said half-baked idea. Levine gets shipped for Beal mid-season. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny that both of them like sign max deals, and then like the first thing teams are like, can we just trade him? Can we just trade him? Let's just move off him right now. Yeah, I was reading this too this morning, Mike, that Zion's probably going to have an Embiid-like injury. So, like, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to make a shit ton of money. But they're going to just try to cover their ass a little bit. And Wet Like a Book is ready for the Suns Celtics finals. Man, the West is going to be tough though. Especially, what's going to happen with the Suns? Like, are they really going to go after this KD thing? I think I listened to Bill Simmons today, and he was saying, he's like, I bet they don't even have. The trade doesn't even happen. The closer they get to the season, the Nets and KD are just gonna be like, you know what? Why don't we just play basketball? Okay. We the People says hot take DeRozan lands in LA for what though? For what? Yeah, this was the other move I was gonna say. I mean, I know we like to joke about the Bruce Brown fresh threads. I thought NBA Top Shot Talk had a great tweet today that was like fresh threads for Bruce Brown 60K moments. Bruce Brown going to the Nuggets, I actually think it's like a pretty big deal. That's like a good piece for them. We were just saying that they have a solid 5, and it's a pretty big drop off after that. I thought that was a good get for them. But still, not as good as my Celtics, baby. Not as good as the Chain Gang. All right, I don't know. Anything else from the free agency stuff that happened today? I kind of wanted to look at all these challenges that got announced. It seemed based on Twitter, is that it was a little bit more positivity from the community on these challenges. Nice, Mr. T Gold Chain. Thank you, Travel Addict. But let's take a look at what's going on over on Top Shot. Just a reminder too, like the stream, hashtag Borland, and sub to Team Hold. But let's go over to NBA Top Shot. Peep out the challenges. Let's do it on OTM, the official sponsor of all things Team Hold. Go take a look at the challenge section. Let me share screen. Let's get in here. All right, they're not live. Whoa, I already had the Diana Taurasi. There you go, 10 out of 10. And then the John Collins, I have 1 out of 3. Wait, you only need 3 moments? Is that right? You only need 3 moments for this one? Let's go to the tape. I haven't looked at anything. You know what I did today instead? I went and played basketball. That's right. I got some jumpers up today. And I'm way out of shape. I really am. I'm just disgusting. I'm a disgusting individual. Here we go. Let's take another sip. Ooh, I like this. We had to talk more about this. Celtics now have 3 NBA PA VPs, Grant, Brogdon, and JB. How about Grant on Grant was on, what's it called? The Athletic show yesterday with Shams. I know, I did. I played in this heat, dude. Never rest, dude. Never day off. Never day off. All right, let's take a look at the challenges. Dude, is Top Shot is your server? Are the servers moving a little bit faster now? Or are you guys still like in this slow ass internet? All right, so here we go. This is the archive moment right here. Submit a complete crafting challenge entry with 10 specific moments to earn it. Let's do it. I think I can do this one live. I think I'll probably do it. Let's see. So what do you need? Just archive moments? 3 archives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 best of. Interesting. As long as I can see, like, this is the one thing. I want to see what doubles I have. Like, I know I got a lot of Ivory Latta, so we'll do that. Because I like being able to, if I can just do the ones that I have doubles of, I'm much more likely to do it, you know? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got another Ivory Latta. There we go. So there you go. Let's look at the best of. Let's look at our doubles here. What do we have? Can they just put them in double order? Do they do that? I feel like I've had a couple of Mitchells, but now I can't tell if it's just Tiffany or if it's Kelsey as well. Do I not have doubles? This is going to be a bummer. I thought for sure I'd have some dubs. I'd have some dubberoonies. Maybe not. Maybe I have to do this later. Wait, Tiffany Mitchell. I do have 2 Tiffany Mitchells. I know I have a couple Jonquel Jones. Let's see. Is this fun for you guys? Like, I'm not looking at the chat right now. Do you guys care about this? I know I have a couple Natasha. I've got a couple of Clouds. Let's do a Wheeler. How many more do I need? Crystal Dangerfield. She's been on like 32 teams already this year. Collier. I think I have a couple Colliers. I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense to do doubles if the doubles are worth more than the floor, right? How many more do I need to do? 3 more. All right, I might do this later. I had a Cooper double. Okay, sort by name. That would have made way more sense. See, I should have done Don't Burn Jones, MVP for life. I have 9 Chelsea Grays. Okay. Matt Vinyl said you will not have to break your set. Brad, are you saying that? He's wrong. Is that what you mean? That he's wrong? Let's look at the John Collins one, the squad goals. Take a look at this. All right, so we got 3 and 4 days for this. So you need a John Collins rare, an Atlanta Hawks dunk rare, and a Hawks Series 1. So let's talk about this for a second. How do we feel about them switching it up a little bit, right? Do we like that? Do we like that they can that they're mixing it up a little bit? I thought that was good. I was talking about it with TST earlier this week. I thought it was going to be a little bit tricky for them to be as different as they have been. Like I was like, this is going to be pretty close, save for like 1 moment or 2. But to go from burning, what was it, 5 moments to then 3 moments? Now, do you think they made it less moments because the Hawks have less moments? Or do you think they did this because it's going to be more desired? They're trying to keep the mint count close. Like, I don't know. Where do you guys land with how they're doing it? Top Shot Lifer says like it, but throw some comments in there. Borland breaking some news saying Bielitsa is going back to Turkey, I assume. As an Armenian, I have some thoughts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stand pat on my take that I think this is cool what's happening. I'm excited that it's happening, but I'm probably not going to go in there and do too much with it. Like that WNBA one, it's for Diana Taurasi. That one sounds kind of like that. But when we're talking about the squad goals one, it's just not moving the needle for me, people. It's just not moving the needle. But what about you guys? What are you guys doing in the chat? Are you going after this? Federico said they're going for the cost of completion. This one is close to Iguodala. Yeah. Okay. So, but I imagine this one is going to be, there'll be more of this because John Collins is a little bit more exciting than Iguodala. Burning 3-1 isn't going to get the countdown too quickly. No. But again, guys, I don't think that's what they're doing right away. Like, I don't think they're trying to get rid of all of these moments immediately. Zavala Bala says burning series 1 is risky. I'm pretty sure it's a test, not joining in on the experiment. Using each squad to sell a bit and collect dapper. That is the big brain we are looking for. Okay. Let's go back over to OTM for a second too. Let's see. So Diana Taurasi, 395 complete. 3,500 people are eligible. Wow. And then for the John, so this, I am fascinated about the John Collins one because there's more rares included. Series 1 moment. Like, are we going to see? So right now you can see 72 can complete, 738 still eligible. I'm curious. So that's like 760. How many of those 760 do we think happens? John Dubb, I was waiting for your take. He says, enjoy 49 games from Malcolm. Listen, if we only get 49 games, I hope he sits like the first 60 games of the season, you know? This is about low volume. Yeah, I can't find motivation to get off the sidelines. Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there for it. That's what I mean. Like, if this isn't moving the needle too much for me, I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's there. And I think if you're into it, go for it. Beaks 4K. What's up, Beaks 4K? We haven't seen you in a while. You want to do that together? I bet this is going to be a nice way for everyone to throw up together. Let's see how LaMelo Ball's 4K rookie debut is doing. My guess is at like 250. Wow, his MGLE of 749 is at 205. His MGLE of Series 2 is at 599. Cool Cat's 1450. Oh, here it is. 348. Okay, that's actually doing better than I thought. It's up 10% in the last week, Beaks. There you go, Beaks. You brought that energy back. You saved us. Enjoy Malcolm's 6 turnovers. Dude, you guys, listen, good luck. Good luck trying to make me be bearish on my man Malcolm Brogdon, okay? Good luck. Celtics are going 82-0. Are you kidding? Never going to lose again. Oh, you know how excited I am about it? Naked, HD, Tinder, overpriced shit. Try us 18 plus. Let's dive into the emojis. Ooh, it's getting hot. Check mark. Ooh, I'm in love again. Thumbs up, check mark. Oh, what a great time. In love again. There we go. This is good, man. This is good. Again, my favorite stuff though is when we find out like you're sending snail mail. A lot of people don't send snail mail, and that's what I actually like about naked-hd.xyz is that they're more about like true connection, not this digital stuff, okay? Naked-hd.xyz is more of a web 2 philosophy, okay? They want federal mail to be involved. They want the postal service to be a part of this. But I got to tell you guys, it's been a while. I don't know if I've ever been out on these apps. Are you guys paying for it? Is that what we do now? Is it paying for it? I'm unsure. Wait, the judge unveiled his new rug NFT project. It's a video game using Top Shot moments. Interesting. Oh wait, hold on. Is that live? There's no rugs involved when our man Kawhisenberg's involved. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We're gonna do nothing but positivity in this house. All right, let me see. Let me see. I want to see if we can look at this live. And also in like 10 minutes, we're going to dive into some F1 stuff, which is going to be fun. All right. No, it's still not live. Wait, did the judge tweet it out? Do I have to go find the judge on Twitter? What's his name? DG Courthouse, DG Courtroom. Let's go. Dude, 9,000 followers. I can't believe he's got more followers than me. Here it is. Announcement. There it is. Here we go. Let me share screen here. Wait, Super Draft NFT is live. It is. All right. So is that what you were trying to DM me about the other day, Poke Pro Eric? We're using Top Shot moments. So here we go. Several months ago, I took a position as the NFT director at Superdraft. I took this position because I saw the NFT space struggling and wanted to help. I thought I could make a real difference for you, the NFT community, and I thought I had more to offer than just doing streams content like Mike Zakarian, that fool. I felt compelled to do more. I felt compelled to do all I could to do to bring excitement and add utility and get back to the innovation in the Web3 space. And I knew the way that I wanted to do this. Gamification. When I took the position at Superdraft, it only made sense that the first product I would try to gamify would be Top Shot. This was the product that brought most of us together in this space. This was the product that I personally fell in love with. Corny but true. Quit my job as an attorney to produce content for full time and have spent countless hours trying to find ways to help it succeed. So I have spent the last several months building a product at Superdraft with a lot of great and talented people to gamify Top Shot. One of the people you may have heard of, Bunfire from Live Token. My number one goal and thought process could. Next page. Anyways, today I am proud to announce that the Superdraft product is close to launch. I'll provide more details in the coming days, but for now, enjoy the teaser video below and buckle up. Also, make sure to sign up with the following link to get updates from when the game goes live. Finally, please join me tonight for a live stream on Twitch. Disclaimer, Superdraft is not affiliated, associated anyway with NBA Top Shot. There you go. Wait, he's also going to be in Vegas. There you go. That's huge, dude. Huge, huge, huge. Oh, big time stuff. Big time stuff. 2 pages, baby. Honestly, though, you know what? We can make fun of it all we want. I'm excited to see any sort of use for Top Shot moments, right? Like, if we're being honest, dude, let's just be happy that anything's happening with Top Shot moments. That anything is happening for Top Shot moments. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm into it. There we go. Listen, guys, forget that the judge is involved. All right. Just remember, best part, it's free. I did a bad job selling it too. I just read it. It's because it came from him. There's a teaser video though. Although I feel it's a minute long. All right, I'm not going to do this right now. This is free press. I'm not going to do this right now. No free press. No free advertisements. Anyways, what else? What were we talking about before that? I don't remember. Do you think we can get the judge come to our live show on Friday night? You think we can do that? Can we spin that up? Oh, you know what we were talking about? See, you know what the judge ruined again? The judge ruined nakedhd.xyz. Who knows where we could be right now? Who knows? All right, I want to make sure I hit everything. Let me just double check something quickly. Just double check something. All right. I got a bunch of people DMing me the super draft thing now, which shows that they don't watch my content. Okay. Rude. Rude. I was really hoping that I was going to be able to announce our live show, like what exactly was happening and where it was happening tonight. I mean, I was hoping to do it today during the show, but we weren't able to finalize that just yet. So stay tuned for next week. But it's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm really excited for it. Whether it's going to be, massive or not, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us to hang out again. Poker Pro Eric said, I will get my VIP host at the Paris Hotel to now allow. To not allow. Okay, thank you, man. Oh yeah, there we go. Trade tickets for that. But yeah, the game. I'm really excited for Summer League. I'm really excited to go to Vegas. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So no morning marketplace on the 4th. What? You know what? I really don't. Well, we're going to plan not to have it. I'm going to say that we'll plan not to have the show on the 4th. And then if I'm bored in the morning, we'll probably do it. We're in town this weekend. We've had such an insane schedule for the last like few weeks. And we're just like both happy to be in the city this weekend and be like laying low. So we're going to be here. And then Kelsey goes on her bachelorette party next weekend. And then the following weekend, I go to Vegas. So we're not really going to be around for the next couple of weeks. So we're excited to just chill this weekend. Just chill. It's also hot as hell. But that's going to be good. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the quiet weekend. I feel like what's going on this weekend? Like, what should I be getting into? I don't even know. Do we get to stick super stickers on your forehead at the live event? Sure, Milo. If that's what you want to do. Yeah, we can do that. We can do. I honestly am hoping we're gonna have more of these for the show. There we go. Dude, look at that focus. Shout out Veronica who had these made. Sick. Also, look how good that camera is. So quick. But yeah, the Vegas is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, let's get a reminder in on this sick ass giveaway. What do we have here? Let's remind the people. We got hashtag Borland. Fire that up. Oh, I'm just remembering right now that I never shared the stream with our guest, and I bet so you're gonna like the stream, subscribe. Hashtag Borland. I'm realizing now that's probably what my DM was about. Was saying, "Hey, asshole, how am I going to come on the show if you don't send me the link?" Yep, need the link. There it is, right on cue. So we are going to pivot to some F1 here in just a second. So stick around for that. We're going to have some fun with some F1. Our man James is going to come back on and shoot the shit for a little bit. Kweissenberg with some alpha. First 1,000 to sign up for the game. Entered in a raffle for a legendary moment. By the way, Team Holt. So listen, you guys want to get all sassy in the chat for free stuff that's available for you to moments? How about a Lego? Hey, Kweissenberg, here's a question for you. Is one of the legendaries one of the 5 hollows that Judge got during the blended packs? You probably can't comment on that. I'm sorry. Here we go. Some people coming in here for the Borland. I will say too, you know what I was thinking? It's too bad it's a long weekend. I kind of want to do a playback for an F1 race at some point soon. Too good. So yeah, we'll do that at some point this summer. We're gonna do one. All right. Reminder: Borland, hashtag Borland, like, subscribe, do all those things. We're going to give away 2 moments. One, I believe, is a LeBron. The other one is a TSD of Daniel House. Recently traded Daniel House, or recently signed. But why don't we get started? Let's pivot to some F1 talk. We're going to bring on our man, actually the host. He's the host now when we get to the F1 because, like I've said before, he comes prepared with some fun stuff. So we're going to bring on James, and we might see Mihal in a little bit. I'm not sure if he's around. It's a busy man. So let's bring on James. James, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mike. Not much. Just watching the practice and trying to figure out, am I better off completing the challenges or am I better off selling into the challenges?
Oh man, are they pumping, or I haven't really been paying attention. Are the moments included in the challenge pumping at all?
I think some of them are. Unfortunately, I think the one that's really pumping is the one I don't have. I got 2 out of 3 of the Collins, and the the other one I've got WNBA. I've got I'm only short one, and I've
Yeah.
got 2 archive packs I haven't cracked that I probably have. I might have the other one in there.
Yeah.
But the question is, like you were showing, there's like 3,500 that can complete
It's a
this.
pretty big one.
So what's the moment going to be worth? And again, is that same thing? Am I better off selling some of the bases into that one to raise capital? 'Cause that's what I've been doing. I've been raising, like your other guy was saying. Basically, I've been selling into most of these
Yeah.
challenges. If it looks like there's going to be too many people completing them, because it's just like, yeah, what's the point?
Yeah,
So
you're right. And you can just find like you're like, yes, I could burn this for a moment that I'd be kind of excited about. Or if you sell into it, all of a sudden you're buying like a debut of somebody you'd be a little bit more excited about, right? And
yeah,
yeah, you're picking spots. It's tough.
yeah, no, and the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, and I haven't really seen anybody do any good analysis on this so far, is how much can you pick up by just being the person that's sitting on the moments as everyone else is throwing them away or burning them, I should say. How much
But
is that moment going to start going up? That's the thing.
yeah,
That's why I was saying, if we start burning more moments, then holding the moments is going to have more value, hopefully, over time.
yeah, I don't know because then you like there's something about this that we're gonna run into eventually, right? Where if what's gonna happen is like the shittier moments that qualify for these burning challenges are going to become the more rare ones, right? So then all of a sudden you're gonna get let's use Malcolm Brogdon for example. Malcolm Brogdon, say it was a rare Malcolm Brogdon out of 499. That's all of a sudden, say like 100 of those get burned. That's out of 399, but no one's burning a LeBron. That's out of 499. So now
Yeah,
you're seeing that Brogdon is 100 more rare. So yeah, the mechanics of it are going to be so fascinating as we move deeper into it, and like how many need to get burned, like you said, before it becomes like a financial reason to hold on to it. So
yeah. And
yeah,
plus everyone still has. I mean, I have the same thing. I think everyone else does. Is why buy a moment today, because it's going to be cheaper next week and the week after and the week after. So it's kind of hard to,
yeah.
it's kind of like the old catch a falling knife
Right,
concept.
and that's totally it. And like there will be a
Yeah.
point, right, where we're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I would have bought it then. I
Oh
didn't know
yeah.
it was gonna bounce back up, right? But we are now at the point like it's getting low enough that it's like, well, that's fine. I'll wait till it starts to kick back up. And if I'm
Yeah.
out $100, I'm out $100. I'm not like I'd rather do that than get it now and then watch it go. I mean, I've done that with a bunch of moments. I'm down like that Steph Curry I bought the debut. It's down like $800.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you were talking about the KD. I had a bunch of those because I was in early on this.
Mm,
And I had a bunch of those KDs, and I sold one of them like for 900 or so. But
wow.
then I spent 425 on a PJ Washington for the Cool Cats challenge. So,
Oh my
it
god.
was like I got big money and lost big money. So it's like,
See, I remember we gave one of those away, like when we were really new. We were a new show. We gave one of those away. It was like worth $600 at the time, and I remember being like, "What am I doing giving one of these away?"
which is I think
Um,
worth $12 now.
oh, I wish. I think I sent PJ Washington one of those too. Like
Yeah,
I
you did.
think,
I remember that.
yeah, yeah,
You gave him his first moment in his collection.
yeah, and he still hasn't reached out, which
Yeah,
rude.
and I remember that. Yeah, I started watching Oved stuff, and then I was watching First Mint and some OTM, and then I found you guys, and I've been
Yeah,
watching you guys mostly after that.
there we go. We love it. We stole you. We
Yeah,
stole you. Right. Let's get into some of F1.
yeah,
I'll be honest. I kind of we were traveling because the race was 2 weeks ago, right?
yep.
Or yeah, and we were traveling back, and I thought it was starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. I was like, oh, perfect. We're getting back at like 5:30, and I think the race actually started at like 4. And so when I got back, it was already over. So I feel like I missed a lot outside of the results. So I'm excited to kind of dig into what happened
Sure.
and living into this week. So take it away, host.
Sure. Interesting week. Challenging weather conditions. Changing. It was partially. I mean, it poured down on Thursday afternoon. They couldn't do grid walks where
Mm.
the drivers go out and walk the course because it just came down in buckets in the afternoon. Friday was wet and dry. So again, the problem is they weren't getting a lot of tests. Remember, these cars are brand new.
Mhm.
They've been to none of these tracks except Barcelona, so they're still trying to get the feel for them. Canada tends to be a high brake circuit, a high brake use circuit, because there's lots of straights, chicane, so you basically burn the brakes down a little bit. That seems to be a little bit less of a problem this year, as from what we saw. Um, the FIA jumped in with their technical directive on the porpoising thing, so they're getting
Mhm.
involved now. We talked a little bit more about that, and we found out afterwards that they're putting, I think they're putting vertical accelerometers in the cars to basically determine how much they're going up and down.
Oh wow.
Uh, basically they're collecting data right now,
Okay.
and we'll get into that a little bit more because there's been more news on it over the week. Toto was ticked because everyone thought, and he personally thought there was a shot at shot at Merck because of their porpoising, and it basically was going to affect them more. Because
Mhm.
basically they were told, look, we're gonna monitor this. We're gonna create a standard based upon how bad the cars are moving. And it was supposed to be, I think, next week, but it's going to now be France, which is in 3 weeks, where the data coming off the car during the race, if you exceed our things, we could possibly disqualify your car in the name of driver safety. And
Wow.
Toto was ticked about it because the obvious answer is, like we've talked about this before, is raise the height of the car. But they're going to probably give up anywhere between half and maybe 3/4 of a second. And they're going to take a marginally competitive car and make it pretty not competitive. And that's why they're fighting so hard to not do it. Now, evidently they've brought some updates this week, but we'll talk about those a little bit later. But so basically nobody was really happy with it. Toto was ticked. Horner was kind of cackling. Kristen was being Kristen and
Yeah.
just kind of pushing Toto's buttons.
That
Um,
that was like all I had read is that it was like Toto's pissed, Christian's making Toto more pissed.
yeah,
Like,
and he does that. He pushes his buttons very good.
yeah.
You think of Toto as being this stoic guy, but no, I mean, if you remember from Abu Dhabi last year, he can get wound up
Oh, he
when
gets
things
tilted
aren't going his
fast.
way. He can get pretty emotional.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially I think he fired the sunglasses twice. People were wondering if he was going to get a deal with whatever it was for
Right.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
Here,
No,
our
no.
sunglasses stand up to Toto Wolff in his worst moments.
Yeah. That's indestructible. And it's just like
Yeah,
different clips of him chucking them.
yeah. It was basically kind of a variation on the old the old Samsonite ad when they threw the luggage in the gorilla cage in the 70s. But yeah, so the technical directive thing is still ongoing. Max made pole. Fernando
Mhm.
was second in conditions, in odd conditions. Russell took a stab at it right at the end and went out on slicks. Didn't pay off. The track was still a little too wet, a little too greasy, so it didn't pan out. So you kind of had a little bit of a mixed up grid. Of course, Leclerc had to go to the back because of the engine problems.
Well, and it was funny. You had like showcased that a little bit, or we talked a little bit about it the
Yeah.
last show, right? Like this could be,
Mhm.
this could be a thing that's going to bother them moving forward. And then for that to happen like the next weekend, it was great because he ended up running not to jump ahead, he ended up like running a
Yeah.
great race. But you just imagine like what would have happened if you weren't starting, didn't have the 10 grid penalty spot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the problem too is that this is the first one. There's still another 14 races. Or 13
Yeah.
races. So they're going to be in engine penalty hell for quite a while. Now it
Yeah.
seems like by the time we get, further into this, just about everybody's going to be, no one's going to be able to do it with the three engines, either for whatever reasons that are causing this, whether it's just been manufacturing issues. Like I said, there were some rumors on the Ferraris, or more like theories, that it might have been caused by their porpoising and vertical stress on the engines vertically.
Mm.
They said that some of the engines were getting 5G stress loads vertically, and there's no way those engines are designed for that. I mean, yeah,
Wow.
they're planned for somewhat torsion, for twisting on the rear ends, but going up and down like that is not something those engines are designed for. They would not be able to withstand that over time. That could be why Ferrari's having the problems.
Yeah.
You know, they may know internally. Obviously they're not talking. But again, we had another problem with, it seemed to be more of a Ferrari problem, because I think Sainz had a problem in practice, if I remember right, where he had to park his car during qualifying. I think he or no, I think during qualifying he had a
Mm.
problem. So it was kind of a mess for the Ferraris again. But like I said, Max on pole, Fernando second. Leclerc started the back, but you're right, he managed to make himself up into the top five. It was Red Bull six pack. They won their sixth race in a row. Max won 5 of the
Wow.
6. Sergio won in Azerbaijan. So he's got a 46-point lead. Part of the thing that made the race interesting were 3 virtual safety cars, or safety cars, throughout the race.
Wow.
One because Sergio Perez's car, the engine transmission gave out and he parked it. Another one was, I think there was a Mick Schumacher problem. And the third one was your buddy Yuki came out of the pits and drove straight into the wall.
That is one of the few things that I saw
Yeah.
was my man Yuki. I feel like ever since I backed him, I cursed him.
No, I don't think so.
No?
He's kind of had a interesting past and an interesting, few race, or interesting career in general. The
Yeah.
guy's got a lot of talent. Just hasn't been, it's been better this year. This is kind of his first when you would call a stupid thing. Now, I don't know what happened, if there was a problem where something locked up, or if something failed in the car, or if it was just, red mist, brain fade, and he just literally drove the car off the track
Yeah.
with it, because it was dry. There wasn't any rain, so it wasn't like it was, the track was wet. But yeah, he just went in the first corner too hard, evidently, and just couldn't turn it, and the grass was still wet, so he went skidding into the barrier and brought the last of the virtual safety cars. But it
Wow.
jumbled up the pit stops, created some strategy, helped Max out. Didn't help Lewis out. Lewis wound up finishing fourth. Russell again on the podium, continued the top 5 streak. Only driver to be in the top 5 all year.
He's just been so consistent. And I also want to say, sorry, just to jump in for one
Yeah.
sec, because I was getting pinged all over the place in my Discord. Apparently, Rudy Gobert to Minnesota.
Oh, interesting.
I guess that's what Windhorse was getting all weird about today. So there you go, Rudy to Minnesota.
Yeah, jump in with those, because I'm sure they're going to be breaking all day long.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch Rudy and Cat work together. But I mean, dude, the huge move for Minnesota though. That's a big splash. Big splash.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, new environment can really help out a player.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's just looking forward to not being like the butt of every joke in Utah. So I'm sure he's just happy to be around new coworkers that don't hate him. So that's pretty big.
Yeah.
But
by the way, if you get any good news, like Lakers getting rid of anybody that's got like a big fat salary,
yeah,
that'd be good to know, because it's pretty depressing in Laker town right now.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've talked to Dustin. So
I'll jump in if Russ gets moved to Canada with like J. Cole or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Sent Beasley, Pat Beverly, Vandy, and Kessler along with multiple firsts. Wow. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, I guess like Vandy's the only piece that
Wow.
they're pretty bummed about. But that's a big wow. Minnesota going all in. I kind of like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's but I think that could be quite good for Utah in the draft, especially if there's draft picks involved.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, if they needed to make a move, so that's wow, that's huge. Anyways, all right, we can jump back in. So
Yeah,
sorry,
no
about
problem. Yeah, so Max up by 46. Yuki with the crash.
that. Yep.
Russell. Oh, you were talking about. I think you were talking about Russell with him being the
Oh, he's
top
just so
5 in all of them. Yeah,
He's just so consistent. He's just even though Mercedes is going through all their troubles, he just continues to like fight through and is like, oh yeah, he's top 5 again.
yeah. No, it's been great for him. He's really outshone Lewis. But again, this could be one of those situations where the car fits him more than it fits Lewis, and that could be part of the problem. And he's also younger, and he's probably not getting beat up he's getting beat up as bad as Lewis, but 23 versus 37 is a lot quicker recovery time. You haven't seen Lewis, getting out of the car looking like he was 84 years old, like
Oof.
unfortunately Lewis did in Azerbaijan.
Mm.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so after the weeks, we had 2 weeks between the races. FIA met again with most of the teams and their technical directors to discuss it, because the initial reaction, other than Christian cackling, wasn't really good from a lot of the teams, not just Mercedes. They were not really happy with and they were not happy with I think what really upset them was the speed of them, how quickly they can solve this problem, because they've been working on this all season long. I mean, since they got to Bahrain in the testing, they've found the problem. Evidently, whatever the issue was, it wasn't able to be shown in the wind tunnels, and when they've done their CFD, computational fluid dynamic mock-ups of this, it didn't show up there. And so therefore they wasn't like something they've been fighting since January. They've only been fighting since they got to the track and said, oh, didn't know that was going to happen. So it's got to figure that one out. And again, we'll remind everybody, Red Bull's the team with the least amount of this, and they're the only guy that's got somebody who was around when these first ground effect cars were built 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
With Adrian Newey. And that's really showing, he's again showing the value of Adrian Newey, quite possibly. So, like I said, the teams aren't happy with how quickly they expected to have this fixed. So FIA is taking that under advisement, and they announced yesterday that they're going to back off a little bit on the timing of this. And they're going to give the teams until France, and they're going to collect more data, so they've got a better understanding of it. Exactly. So then they're going to set a standard, meaning, and I don't know what the unit of measurement is or whatever it's going to be, but they're going to set a standard. And then as of France will issue a directive saying that, with the data we're collecting, if your car exceeds X, and whatever X is, we can possibly, remove you from the results under the issue of driver safety. So we'll see how it shakes out. That's going to make the teams a little bit happier. Again, Red Bull happy because they don't have any problems. Right. But we'll see how that, we'll see how that works out with them. Hey, by the way, your guy Danny Rick, it's his birthday today.
Yeah, I know. Happy birthday to Danny Rick. And like, I don't know if we had this on the rundown, but doesn't he have some like entertainment news potentially as
Yeah,
well?
you're
Right?
exactly right. Yeah, there's he has evidently signed to do a scripted show
J-
with Hulu and I think one of the ABC. And it's interesting when they said ABC, I thought ABC, but ABC is also Australian Broadcasting. So maybe
Oh,
it just dawned on me when I said ABC. Maybe it's not ABC that Dustin's firm owns.
yeah.
Maybe it's the ABC of Australian Broadcasting Company. Now that I thought about it,
Well,
so
I'd be mad if Dustin wasn't on here breaking that news. So if we, it better be
what's
Australia.
TV side? Isn't Dustin the movie side of the business?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah,
Although no,
Dustin and
Greg does a lot of Disney Plus stuff though, so at
yeah,
least
he does some
Greg
of the
can
stream. Yeah,
go.
try some of the streaming show. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that'll be but it's his birthday. Evidently, there's something. I guess it's in one of the Sky broadcasts where they're doing some one of these games with the drivers on Thursday night. They were taping it, and it was something with like bouncy balls, or like the balls you can bounce on,
Yeah.
and something happened, and Ricardo smacked the ball and hits Norris in the face.
Oh
And kind
wow.
of almost hurts him. He kind of was like, "Oops," He goes over and apologizes for it. Oh, here we go, Dustin. Thank you.
Dustin, what are you confirming though? You're
Yes,
confirming that is American Broadcasting Company or that is the Australian Broadcasting Company?
yes.
We
Or you're
need,
confirming you work on the movie business, which we already knew.
yeah, that's true too. That's true too. It could just be that.
Or you're confirming the Laker fans are in hell right now.
That's true. True.
So yeah. Do tell. So they've put in they're creating a aerodynamic oscillation metric, which is that not something that was picked by an engineer?
Yeah.
No marketing person picks that name. It was picked by an engineer, and that's what they're going to measure and limit the car movements with. It'll be interesting. But yeah, Danny Rick's birthday. But yeah, that scripted thing will be interesting. I'm kind of surprised. Scripted show. I mean, I can
Yeah,
see them doing something as more of a
reality based
yeah,
thing or
exactly. But I
yeah,
wonder, just it seems interesting. I mean, but then again, you could always say that yeah, the Kardashians were unscripted, but they
no.
told them, go over to this person and say this, or
No, that
those
was
things
definitely
are
scripted.
unscripted type of thing.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
I
we'll see
do
what it is, but it's curious. Go ahead.
It would be fun, like seeing him work with. It's funny. I feel like you'd call it Drive to Survive, but like one of those elimination type shows where, like, if you get through it, you get in. I mean, you can't get an F2 deal, but something like that, right? Where you would get some like sponsorship deal or whatever. I
Well,
think
there
that
have
would
been
be kind of
similar
fun.
things with with the simulator games where
Yeah.
they were giving people that won the simulators. 'Cause I had a friend of mine who's a racer.
Mhm.
One of his buddies in autocross made it into one of those slots. There were 16 slots, and they were in one of the lower series. I don't remember what it was. It was like Formula Nissan or something, and he made it into one of those slots. And they were giving the guy. That's been about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They're doing that because they were trying to convert sim players. Because that always been one of the running questions is how well does a sim, make you into a driver or replicate it? And
Right.
there's always been jokes about, it's not really the same thing and stuff. But evidently, as the sims get better and the tech gets better, they become closer and closer
Yeah.
to being the real thing. And a lot of the drivers, they have their sims. The teams have very advanced sims that they send in for new tracks and for development work too.
Well, I
So,
remember too. I forget what season it was for Drive to Survive, but that was it. Pierre Gasly, like they were. It was like him working on Sims, I think, for a while. There was like a whole
sure.
segment and a whole episode of us just like
Yeah.
watching him do it. I was like, holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be. I'll be curious to see what that show ends up looking like.
Yeah, and I'll be curious. I mean, and if we get some more news on it, we'll take a look. And is this going to be the first of a wave of these things? Are they going to start signing other guys?
Mm.
Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine hauling a Max TV show?
No, I
That
can't.
that would
Well,
be nuts.
especially because it seems like Max isn't into it. Like Max, I don't
Well,
think.
that's true.
Yeah, but who would be Christian? Christian would be ready. He'd make himself very available for any sort of camera, whether it
Oh
was like
yeah,
a TV production or someone just wanted to take a photo.
yeah. Follow Kristen around, kind of like a Kardashian version of Kristen.
Exactly.
Christian. Yeah, that'd be
Exactly.
great. I mean, he's married to a Spice Girl. You know it's going to be entertaining.
Yep, absolutely. Wait, is he really? Is that who that was?
Yeah, he's married to Jerry Halliwell.
Oh, I did not realize that. I knew
Yeah.
that she must be like a famous person based on them just bringing her on, but
Yep. Yeah. Well, remember, he started out as the youngest team principal when he first got his spot with Red Bull, and he's still the youngest team principal.
That's wild.
And he's also the most tenured team principal, which is kind of weird. He lucked into it.
Yeah.
I think he was 32 or 33 when he got the gig. He was a
Wow.
former racer. He raced against, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Max's dad and a couple of other F1 drivers. And when he got into the F2, he realized, yeah, I'm good, but no, I'm not that good. Maybe team ownership might be the place I want to
That's
look.
great.
I mean,
That's
it's
great.
hard to recognize that. A lot of guys don't have that self-awareness to go,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not that good. The ego's like, nah, I'm better
It's
than
not,
there.
they're like, it's not
You're
going to
not.
happen.
So he started a F2 team, and when Red Bull started their stuff, they said, hey, we want you to come run Red Bull. And that's how we
Wow.
got the gig. So, yeah, there's actually a really good chat with him, the Cambridge Union. You can find it on YouTube. It's about an
Okay.
hour-long chat with him if you want to take a look, get a little bit more into, into the background of Christian. I recommend it for anybody. I'm about halfway through it, but it's been pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And it gives you good background. I mean, that's where I learned that from. I knew that, but I didn't learn exactly the specifics of his background. I knew he'd been a racer. I knew he owned an F2 team, and I knew he ran and owned an F2 team, and then I knew that Red Bull had called him. So
Wow. Wow.
but yeah. So so they've created that aerodynamic oscillation metric, which again had to be designed by an engineer. We're again, Great Britain. This is probably the second most important race on the calendar after Monaco,
Mhm.
because the majority of the teams are headquartered in the UK. Obviously, not Ferrari, AlphaTauri, but pretty much everybody else is either headquartered there, or they've got engine programs there, or they've got a significant staff there. So, I mean, in fact, Aston Martin is outside the gate. You basically, if you go out of the gate at Silverstone and you turn right to go to the road, you turn left, you go over to the Aston Martin factory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you literally could push a car across the street on the track.
This is going to feel like a home race for a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lot of community, but very familiar with everybody. Lando is big, of course. Lewis is big, and Russell. You got three big British drivers.
Yeah.
They're predicting record crowds. Unfortunately, it was kind of wet yesterday and wet today, and that's a problem from getting people in and out. Parking lots tend to get muddy there, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's the most popular race probably after Monaco, or most famous one because of the number of drivers. It was the first F1 race in 1950-51
Oh,
when
wow.
the series was created. So yeah, so he celebrated that. It was 50 because it was during the pandemic. They had the 70th anniversary race there.
Wow.
But yeah, it's built on the site of a World War II bomber base, which makes you like, yeah, why are you telling me this? Well, because it's a high point, and you want wind available for airplanes. You want to take off airplanes into the wind to create lift.
Yeah.
So the reason that's relevant is that wind can be problematic here, because it tends to where they've created the track over the years and broken up the airfields, the runways, is they now got all the cars get hit sideways with wind. And especially coming in and out of corners, and that can affect your players. So you'll see drivers all of a sudden just gets kind of squirrely in a corner, squirrely coming out and back out.
Yeah.
They probably got hit with a wind gust. So watch for that. It's kind of a little different thing that you run into a lot of other things, because the track was especially put on a spot that's got wind. They converted the bomber base.
I think that is one of my favorite things about all this, is that every track is like super unique based on, so many different things, right? Like this one's just wind. Sometimes it's like track build. Sometimes you're going underneath a casino. Like everyone presents its own challenge. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sometimes you're going through the mountains in Spa.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes you're going on a purpose-built track down in just outside of Austin, Texas.
Right.
So yeah, they're all different. They're all unique, and unfortunately, a lot of the tracks don't have the character they used to have.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like this old guy, get off my lawn kid. but no, a lot of the characters been taken out of some of the tracks. Silverstone still pretty much has got a lot of its character. Spa still has a lot of its character. But yeah, no. So to be interesting, watch for the wind. The weather could be dicey. It said it was wet this morning and it dried out in the afternoon. Tomorrow it could be wet during qualifying. It's hard to say. British weather is quite changeable.
Yeah.
And then Sunday's supposed to be dry. The rain's supposed to go away in the morning. But it was funny because the commentators were saying they were surprised that it was wet this morning, because their weather app had told them the rain was going away by 4, and clearly they got to the track. It was coming down pretty wet. So we'll have to see how it goes. So the directive for the porpoising is off until the French Grand Prix, which is in 3 weeks. So we have a race next week, Austria, week off, when we're all in Vegas, and then back-to-back races, and then they've got the summer break. So we've got 4 races in 5 weeks coming up. So it's going to be a busy time.
Did you say they're off the week that we're all in Vegas?
I believe they're off the week. They're all in
That would have
Vegas.
been
Yeah,
that kind of would
unfortunately.
have been fun.
Yeah, but hey, do we want to think about doing a playback this weekend if you're not
So
busy?
yeah, I think we're similar to last time. I would
Okay,
love to do
sure,
that. Let's play it by ear as we get closer. Only because
no problem.
it's a long weekend. I want to see where we're at. But I would love to do that. So what
Yeah,
time?
it's not too
What,
bad. I think it's 10 o'clock for you. It's 7 a.m. for me.
okay, if it's a morning one, yeah. Let's just plan
Yeah,
on doing it. Let's plan on doing
sure.
playback for
Okay.
this week's race. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know. And by the way, hey, everybody out there, make sure you jump into the Formula One
Here we go. Sharing it now.
fantasy.
Sharing the link now. I was
Yep,
ready to
share the link.
go.
Thanks. Yep, so everyone jump in there. I had a horrible week in Canada. I
Yeah.
changed the lineup and it didn't pan out. So, though, I kept having the feeling that Max was gonna have a bad week. Nah, that was wrong. Max had a good week.
Yeah, Max is either not going to finish or
No.
he's going to finish first. That's all he's
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it goes. But the other thing about Britain, because of the fact that it's a home race for a lot of these teams, they bring upgrades. They're always tending to bring upgrades to this. Everyone's got
Oh, nice.
almost everyone. Merck's got a big upgrade. Supposedly, the word is they're quite confident.
Right.
After this morning, I'm not sure they're going to be quite as confident. It looked better, but still showed some porpoising off. So
Yeah.
it seems to be pretty much a high speed thing. Now, again, remember, there's been two problems with the March. It's been porpoising, but also the car has been bottoming a lot, and that's what's been causing the problems when the car smacks the track, and that's
Wow.
what was causing all the problem with Lewis. So, porpoising can cause the smack of the track or the car hitting it, or it can just have bottoming problems in general because they've got the ride height down and they won't raise it
It
because they'll slow the car down.
it's so funny just to see, it feels like every week Mercedes is battling something else, right? And then you look at the constructor standings and they're like 40 points behind Ferrari. Like they're
Yeah.
still right in there for all of the bumps and bruises literally that Lewis is going through.
Yeah, but
Pretty
it's
impressive.
but it's still one of those things where they've won 7 straight
Right,
constructors.
right,
So it's relative. But you're right.
right,
They're not AlphaTauri, they're not Haas.
right,
They're
right.
just not having another Merc type year is all.
And
And that's
just
why it's surprising.
right, and such a gap between Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, and then like McLaren is behind them. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, they're not even like sniffing it, you know?
Yeah, the interesting news from McLaren I heard was that now, while they may have some upgrades for this race, this is it. They're done. They said they're not bringing any more upgrades for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be a little tough for Lando and Danny.
Yeah.
That's going to get a little ugly because that car's not going to get fixed, or if that kind of car's not going to get improved between now and the end with the 13 or 14 races we've got left.
Yeah.
They're going to be sliding down the standings. It looks like now it's going to be questions. There may be other teams that may put a halt to the upgrades too. Maybe after this, maybe come summer break, no more upgrades because budget caps.
Hmm.
And remember, we still are. I mean, we are at the halfway part of the year. So they've got to start looking at the 2023 stuff. And McLaren said everything's getting focused on 2023 going forward. No more time on 2022 car, no more upgrades.
Hmm.
Again, don't know if that's a money problem because of the budget cap or if that's just simply labor resources. And like, look, we got, the clock's ticking. That 2023 car's got to get out there. We've learned what we can.
Yeah.
And we'll just push towards the 2023 car getting better. Kind of like what Haas did last year, where they just gave up and just wrote the car up.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, if like there's some teams that, like you look at AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, and then like Haas, like I mean, they're not in like that top 5 contention really, unless they have like a huge turnaround. So I could totally see them just being like, okay, let's save our resources and get working on next year instead of trying to, do everything we can for 6th place,
Yeah. Haas has got one upgrade package. I think they've already said, but it wasn't coming until France or maybe next week. So they just got one and they know it's still coming. But after that, yeah, that's it. I don't think there's going to be a second one for them. Alpine brought a pretty decent upgrade. Even Red Bull brought a new upgrade. They changed the engine cover a little bit. What was it? Williams has a pretty significant upgrade from they said because they said the car looked quite different.
Yeah.
From what it has been, and they had a lot of you can see that a lot of the thing called FlowViz, which is a paint they put on it's a paint they put on the car, and it'll basically it flows with the aerodynamics. It's paint's a fluid just like the air is, and basically they can get some information on how the air is flowing over the car. So you see if these cars, usually it's a fluorescent color, can be green, can be orange. And they had like the entire side of the car was painted in full, which is really weird. So hopefully, they have tested out those changes. Because again, limited time, there's virtually no track time and there's limited wind tunnel time, so they can only test so much in the tunnels.
Right.
With that, but Williams supposedly has, so maybe maybe be good for them this week. But yeah, just about everyone's bringing upgrades. Alpine was pretty confident about theirs, so we'll see what changes they've made.
Here we go. They're Mihal right there. Said Williams. There you go. Yep. What's up, Mihal?
Hey, shout out to you. Yeah, but McLaren is done, and that's really interesting. Again, I want to see if there's going to be more teams as we get to the summer break are going to be calling off the upgrades too, because of either money. Now, evidently, because of the inflation that's been going on. Obviously, Britain's got the same problems we do.
Right.
With inflation, it's worldwide. They're giving them, and I haven't been able to find the amount yet, but the teams are going to get like an additional 5% or so on their budgets, because like Christian was saying, our electrical costs are up 30%, and we can't really we couldn't budget for that because we didn't know they're going to be up 30%. This isn't manpower, this isn't materials, and evidently what they're charging them for air freight, because it's kind of a F1 pays for air freight, then they just back charge the team for it. That was way more than they were told they're going to be charged for air freight.
Yeah.
So evidently they've given them some extra money, but it's not what it's kind of like, wah, we want 50 million, wah, you get 10 million, shut up about it.
Right.
So they got, compromise. No one was happy on it, but they didn't get what they wanted. But they got some money. So that'll help them offset it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the budget caps, because this is the first time this has been that strict, where it's going to come into effect where they say, look, we're out of money. We can't do any more, we can't do any more upgrades. Or if some of the teams are going to say, look, let's kind of sit back mid-season, especially like Red Bull, and say, let's save the upgrades that we need them for the end of the year if we're still in contention and we're going to get, and we need to secure the constructors or the driver's title. And it's not a runaway, because this is a landslide right now, but hey, things change, cars change over the years.
True.
They could run into engine penalties because they're not going to be immune from it. They had problems early on and they cost themselves at least one, if not two engines. We know Ferrari's going to be pretty deep in the engine penalty problem. So we'll have to see how it goes. But this is really going to be different. This isn't going to be a year that runs the pattern because of multiple variables with the new cars, the engine problems, and the
that's dealing with too.
Yeah, and the caps on the spending.
Yeah.
But like I said, again, welcome to England with the variable weather. We'll see how that plays out. With the practice results, first round was wet, so you didn't get a lot of representative numbers there. Valerie Bottas was first. Hamilton was second. So seems like another Merc one. Oh, wait a minute, he's not with Merc anymore. Oh yeah, that's right. Alfa Romeo. But yeah, you could have pulled that and said, oh, hey, 2020, 2018. Oh, wait a minute.
Merc's back. Merc's back.
Yeah, back. Exactly. Sainz was third. Max. I don't remember Max even got a lap. And only 10 of the cars recorded laps in the wet because they just didn't.
Wasn't worth
which is interesting because it could rain on Sunday, so I'm not sure why they would have put the cars out there to get some more time, but maybe it was just too wet. I didn't get to see it yet. I only saw it was too early for me. Fell asleep watching. I woke up, watched it, fell asleep, and turned on you guys for the show. So I'm gonna go back and watch it. Let's see, what was it? The lowest lap time was 1:42.
Okay.
Which was like about 18, 20 seconds off. And Lance Stroll ended the first session with a red flag with about a minute and a half left, put in the gravel, spun on slicks as the track was drying. No damage to the car though. So whatever.
Yeah. Poor Lance.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's, I think the only place really does decent is Canada, but yeah. FP2, Sainz, then Lewis, and then Norris. So that's interesting.
Lewis still hanging around, Lewis.
Yeah. Not to say the car was still porpoising, but it was kind of interesting. The upgrades seemed to have made it a faster porpoising car.
Yeah.
So if they can hang on to it, maybe maybe there's a podium. Lewis is right now, I think it's either this race or if he doesn't win this race, will be the longest drought of his career for winless streak.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. And it shows the problems they've had this year. And I think he's already hit his longest streak back in Canada for no podiums in a row.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's really been really been tough for him. It's like, you're a 7-time titleist. You got whatever you want to say, cheated out of an 8th last year. You're 37. You've got a hot young shoe coming in who's challenging you, and it's like, wow. It's like, I got a lot of money. I got a lot of things I want to do outside of this sport. I don't really need to get out of a car with my back sore.
Well,
And how long do I want to keep doing this?
while your number one competitor's father-in-law is also saying some wild shit too,
Oh,
some wild
yeah. I
racist
didn't know if
stuff.
you wanted to go down that path or not, but
What?
yeah.
No, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, that's it. That was like one of the few things I kept up on, which I didn't know is that he was also a former racer. Like I didn't
Oh, yeah.
know
World
that.
champion.
Yeah, I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
that. And so honestly, I mean, not to jump to predictions, but I'm Lewis is taking it down today. Lewis is going. I think we're gonna go 1-2 Mercedes this week. I'm gonna go
Maybe
Lewis.
you never know. Maybe I mean, he's always had. I mean, he's run into other problems. This isn't the first time he's had these problems in
Right,
racing, which
right.
which I really find weird. Because if there's really a sport where you want the best person, it's racing.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are or what you are. If you're the fastest driver, I'm
that's
putting you in my car. I
yeah,
don't care.
yeah. Of course, of course.
And
It's
and
just
and and same thing. If you're the best engineer, I don't care. If you're a Martian with green hair.
yeah,
I'm
just
signing you up because if you're the smartest guy or the smartest woman or
yeah,
smartest whatever, I'm
yeah.
putting you in there. I want to win. I want the best people.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure we'll get a documentary, we'll get a book, we'll get something about like Lewis's story, and I bet this is like one of hundreds of thousands of a thing that like a shoulder, I mean a burden that he has to carry, especially because it's not a team. I mean, it's a team sport, but not really, right? Like he's kind of the
No, well, not,
individual.
not in the lower ranks. It's not. I mean, it is, but when you're in
Yeah,
karting, yeah, you're on teams. But no, it's a
it's you.
driver.
And
Yeah,
for I'm sure there'll be an
yeah,
incredible story that comes from that, like years from now, years from
yeah.
now.
Well, he actually is a good story because he was when he was like 11 or 12. He went up to Ron Dennis, who was the team principal at McLaren in those days, and said, "I want to drive for you." And
Mm,
like a year or so later, he signed him. He signed him as a young driver. So he's had that support, but until he got to that point, he's had lots of stories about that. And his dad is, I think, not poor, but I don't think it's a lot of money. And
yeah.
and it's not as luckily it's not as much money then as it is now. It's very expensive now, and that's
Mhm.
why you see a lot of drivers' kids like Schumacher. If you're a guy named John Alesi, his son is in there. But a lot of these guys, well, I mean, but look at the two: Stroll, father billionaire;
Right,
Latifi, father billionaire.
right.
Evidently, Lando Norris's father is maybe not a billionaire, but worth a
Doing
couple hundred
okay.
million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
okay.
Not as my mom would have said, not worried about paying for his milk and cookies.
That's right, right.
Yeah, yeah, not worrying about that at all. So yeah, no, see, but you're seeing this, and it's the they're concerned because not necessarily losing out on minority drivers, just losing out on even good non-minority drivers or women drivers, female
Mhm.
drivers, because of the cost of it. It has really, really gotten expensive
Yeah,
in those ranks to move through karting and through the F3, F2, F1, or F3, F2 feeder series.
right.
It's very, very expensive. I think it's something like a F3 season is $1 million minimum,
Wow.
and a F2 series is a $2 million. And yeah, you're going to get some sponsorship dollars, but you're not going to cover that. If your parents can't probably kick in seven figures, you're not going to make it in F2 or parents, whoever, rich benefactor. So
Wow.
it's a problem. Yeah, but no, Lewis ran into a lot of that stuff as he was coming up, and it really is disappointing. And it's one of his it's one of the things, like I said, things he likes to work on rather than maybe getting beat up in an F1 car every week is he has a lot of projects for equity and bringing up diversity in
Mhm.
training or in drivers and also in staffing. It's been a major push in getting the F1 teams to look at minority candidates and, recruiting kids that may not be, you would think of as a typical F1 engineer.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man. I
Crazy.
mean, you can't question that. One of the things that was interesting is they said though, is that there was unanimous. I mean, not unanimous, but very strong support for Lewis and combinations of PK when this thing surfaced. This actually had happened back in I think November of last year. It just somebody found the podcast
Yeah.
because it's in Portuguese.
Right,
You had to
right.
find somebody who found it, who understood Portuguese, who translated it,
And then put it
and
out
then
there.
brought it to the F1 media. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you said, his rival's girlfriend's father is the person who
I
said
mean,
it.
that's
So
just kind of crazy. I mean, it's terrible anyways, but when you like add into the added context of like where it's coming from,
yeah.
and not to say that Max is like the same, right? Like by no, I
Oh
mean,
no
there's
no no.
so many different things, but like just that it just
Yeah
adds one more layer to an already
yeah.
like pretty contentious racing relationship. So,
And to
um,
add to the, I don't know if you're going to call it the, circling back on this thing is, this is the race last year where
mhm,
which he was commenting on the crash that
right.
did generate a lot of emotional response from people. One of the things I find interesting, and it's kind of why I enjoy having Miha on, is the Europeans seem to really take this a lot more seriously emotionally
Mhm.
than at least the Americans do. I don't know of any Americans that are like, we're literally sending out death threats to people over F1. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe politics, but not F1.
There you go. Mihal
So
right on cue said together as
yeah, the
Yuri
Euro,
Vips
yeah, that
situation.
one too. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it was interesting how both all of these came up. I left them out, but it was like if Mike knew about it, I was going to give you the caveat
Yeah.
to 40. It was like I almost said, hey, there's some other things if you've been
Yeah.
following you want to throw in there. I was just trying to keep us
Listen,
sports oriented,
sometimes
but no, but they're important stories, and you're right for
yeah.
bringing them
Well,
up.
in the way that usually my brain works with a lot of this stuff, it's like sometimes I'll miss out on some of the sporting stuff, and then when it gets into some like real chaos, or that's the stuff that always sticks out when I'm like scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, wait, what the hell was this? And
Yeah,
then
and the Yuri Vips one, he was on a simulator race
Mhm.
because he is the backup driver for Red Bull, and I believe he's still in F2. He was F2 champion last year, or 2 years ago, I
Yeah.
believe, maybe F3 champion. He used a racial expletive in a live stream. Red
Awesome.
Bull suspended him, and then actually now in the last couple of days they terminated his contract, so he's out. He's fired. He's lost his job
Wow.
for
Wow.
that. So it's serious ramifications.
Good.
And Christian was very because he runs Red Bull. It's
Right.
still
He's
one of
got
his
it.
drivers, even though it's
Yeah.
in a junior program. He said we have no place for this. We don't
Good.
tolerate this. And now this is before I think they terminated his contract when they suspended him. And
Right.
I don't know if from word on high said he's gone, or if Christian wanted him gone, or what. I don't know what, but just heard on yesterday or the day before that his contract been terminated with Red Bull,
Yeah.
so he's out. So
Um, why don't
go
we
ahead.
grab as we move into a little bit later part of the show? I think we basically covered just about everything, right? Should we just
Yeah,
get into some sweet predictions here?
yeah. Go ahead. Give me your 1, 2, 3.
So I think I am. I'm gonna have fun with this. I think I'm gonna go Hamilton, Russell, and then because Max is not winning this race, it means he's not finishing this race. So and then I'm gonna go Leclerc third.
Okay, interesting.
There we go.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna make Britain's day. Lando Norris first.
Wow, there we go. And I thought my takes were hot, and he comes with Lando. I like that.
Russell second,
Okay.
and
Wow.
you know what? Lewis third. I'll give him a 1, 2, 3 British podium.
Look at again. You made it seem like my Mercedes takes are crazy, and then you put both of them on the podium with no
Well,
Red Bull and no Ferrari making
well,
it. I like it.
I'm figuring this. I'm figuring McLaren may need to win here because they may not win for the rest of the year with no more upgrades coming.
True.
So I'm figuring this is Lando's last best shot at winning. I unfortunately have a feeling that Red Bull is due for a problem.
Yeah.
Sainz did have that transmission problem, or Sergio had the transmission problem in Canada.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, Max either wins or
he's out.
wins or last.
Yeah.
So there may be a problem there. Again, it could be wet during qualifying. We don't know where if the grid could get jumbled up. Who knows?
Yeah.
Lando could wind up with pole and
Sure.
just hang on to it if the weather works out right. So you never know. But that's I'll give the British their dream podium. Maybe
like
Lewis would be on top for them, so I don't know. But it'd be interesting. And for pole, let's go with Lando on the pole for qualifying.
I like that. I think if you're gonna have Lando win, get him on the pole. I like that.
But you know what? We'll give Danny Rick second for his weekend birthday on the grid.
There we go.
Unfortunately, his car doesn't finish.
I'm gonna put Max on the pole, but I'm just gonna assume he crashes. Like that's why he doesn't finish. James, dude, thanks so much for doing this. I always appreciate our little F1 like 45-minute chat. We'll let's plan on this Sunday. So it'd be 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And we'll do the Grand Prix for this weekend. I think
and for anyone who wants to know for qualifying, check the F1 forum in the discourse. I think there is or F1 channel. Mm-hmm. I think there's I think someone put the times for the race in there.
Yeah, so jump into there.
For qualifying,
for jumping on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you next week. Take it easy, James. Always, dude, the dude is so prepared and so informed with all this stuff. So we love having James come on here. So shout out James. Shout out what else? Well, who else do we need to shout out? No one else came on this show so far, just James. We will let's remind the people we got a little Borland giveaway, and Borland told us in the chat. Borland said he shipped it, and I hear that noise. It means Dustin's here. So you know what I'm going to do though, because your boy has to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to share screen. I'm going to get Dustin on here to remind the people about Borland. Dustin, cook without me for like 2 seconds, okay?
Let's do it. So there was a couple of things I heard Mike say. Thanks to everyone who came out. Actually, no one came out, so that was my window to say, all right, I'm gonna come on to get some shout outs. But yeah, throw hashtag Borland in there. We're celebrating Aaron Borland for winning in the all day Discord. That's awesome. I went in there and voted. Congrats, Aaron Borland. How is everyone doing? How is the show? There's still more stuff going on in the NBA ether, right? Like a lot of trades still happening. We talked a little bit about the Utah stuff. I know Mike probably already got into a ton of it, but I get why they're trying to go after it. Minnesota, pair the two together. You've got a lot of weapons. You've got some offense, defense. I mean, that's their window. It is a lot of picks. That's the only thing I would say. It's a lot of picks. I threw this in the chat already that it's more picks than what the Lakers sent, more first round picks than what the Lakers sent for Anthony Davis. That's a little cheating the facts because we also sent more players who were actually first round picks. So either way, it's still that. But a lot of fun stuff. I see the chat here too. Lakerville is sad from Backline for the moment. Also, I want to say this too, because I know Jeb was mentioning it, but he was a little disappointed in sort of what the Lakers free agency looked like. And look, maybe my expectations were much more managed than what Jeb's were in thinking who we could go after. We mentioned how we lost Caruso. They don't want to pay. They don't want to spend the money at the time. They messed up 100%. But going over the luxury tax is much more expensive these days. So no one's really trying to do that at all. But for this free agency in particular, I think they did pretty well. I think that Mike is good. There's gonna be no surprise to Mike. The Lakers are younger. They are bouncier. They're more athletic. I think the clutch connection actually benefited them because had they not been clutch clients, I'm very worried that it would be a swing and a miss this free agency. Just overall, I don't think they would have actually gotten anyone. And I'm just saying that I don't think those are too bad. Troy Brown Jr., whatever, I take it or leave it. He's going to be like end of the bench, Jared Dudley status. But like, I don't think JTA and Lonnie Walker are bad pickups at all. Like,
do you know what? One of the funny things I heard was, I think it was from Bill Simmons or one of the podcasts I listened to. They were surprised that Lonnie Walker got more money than JTA. That was like the one takeaway. That JTA makes way more sense for what you need because your biggest problem was defense, right? And you brought in Lonnie Walker, who has yet to show that he can play defense. So
yes, it is defense, but I think part of the reason that it was defense is because everyone was old. Like I really do think that was a part of it. And I think the other thing in terms of salary, Lonnie Walker's 24, JTA is 29. It's different. Had JTA been 24, I think that those would be swapped. But overall,
you trying to build for the future though?
No, like 24 and 29, I think is our sweet spot of what we should be getting, guys. So
I think that's all you can do.
Yeah, we only have two guys over 30. So LeBron and Westbrook. AD is still 29 by some miracle. He's still 29. But everyone is under that. You got our second round pick is like 19. Whatever. He's not going to get a run. Enjoy the G League. But then THT is like the youngest who's going to be getting minutes at 21. We're younger. I'm not mad at this. I got to say, is it still not possible, the Kyrie stuff? It feels like it keeps everyone saying it's possible.
Yeah. Sure, dude.
Are you out on it?
I just don't know. I don't know in what world I don't know what why would the Nets take on Russ's contract? And I don't know what else you can offer that is worth Kyrie. Like everyone else who lines up is going to have a better offer.
I don't know if they are. Like, who's sending that amount of salary and picks for Kyrie?
What picks is his own?
We have like 25, I think 27 is available, which would probably be good picks. The other thing is a lot of people have already done the majority of their moves. You got to match salary. And I don't think if we're reading the tea leaves, everyone is saying Kyrie has made his decision, like where he wants to go, or from what been put out by the talking heads. What team wants to take him on, given what happened in Boston, what happened in New Jersey? What team is like, yeah, like are the Kings like, yeah, man, come on over. We'll send some. Who wants it?
Yeah.
Real question.
I don't know.
Minnesota's not doing it. Contenders aren't doing it. I don't think Phoenix, like all of these teams that are established contenders, none of them are doing it. So you're looking at like teams rebuilding. Like, are the Pelicans going to say, "Hey, come to New Orleans. We're going to give up BI"? Like, no one. Why would they do that?
What's the incentive for the Nets to move Kyrie?
Because Westbrook is an expiring contract, and you get $43 million off the books at the end of a season that you're already going to tank.
They can't tank. They don't have picks. Why? They're not going to. The Nets can't tank.
Well, it's just money off the books for free agency, not necessarily to tank, but for free agency. You open up $43 million at the end of one season, or you keep Kyrie he opted in for what, 4 years, 3 years?
No, 1 year. It's this is it. It's his last deal. It's like 36. Okay. So it's really only like a $9 million difference, I think, or an $8 million difference. I think. I mean, like I might be wrong. I just don't I haven't heard anyone that's not in the Lakers camp say that Kyrie is going to the Lakers. That's the only thing. I haven't seen anybody.
It's weird because I've
Windhorse.
I've heard the opposite, that it's very, like, it feels like it's very much in play, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I also, as a Lakers fan, or if I was a Lakers fan, I would say you probably shouldn't be rooting for Kyrie. He's just dynamite, man. He like comes in and blows shit up. Like
what do I got to lose at this point, Mike? That's the other thing. What do I got to lose?
I still think if you have a healthy LeBron and a healthy Anthony Davis, huge if. But if you don't have that and you have Kyrie, nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie isn't gonna having a healthy Kyrie and a healthy LeBron's not gonna do it. You need to have a healthy LeBron and a healthy AD. Like that's the only way it works.
But yes, for a full title run, yes. But I think we have shown that we can't count on AD. So and Westbrook is not going to be that guy. So if I'm the Lakers, I don't see why you don't try. If that is really a possibility, I'm 100% doing it and saying, let me try my luck with if we get lucky with AD, but a LeBron and Kyrie combo, let me try my luck.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I just don't see it. But again, I've been wrong on a lot of this stuff. I just don't see the incentive for Brooklyn to get involved. I just don't know. Like, you're not going to get enough back that it makes sense, because you're going to make your team worse without. And I imagine just like a Russ and Ben Simmons backcourt's kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess the question is, do we think Kyrie is actually going to play if he comes back for the Nets?
Isn't that insane though, that's the guy you want? Like, oh man, if we could just get the guy willing to sit out.
If he didn't have the history with LeBron.
Yeah. I mean, it's just weird. I think he's so bad.
That's why I don't think anyone else would want to do that trade. That's your point. Why would anyone else want to do the trade? The Lakers at least have LeBron and that history together.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, but this is enough Lakers talk. We have to talk about Minnesota.
Yeah. I touched on it a little bit before as you stepped away, but let's do it.
Is there a more disliked front court in the history of basketball than right?
No.
That's
I low key root for Minnesota. Like I already told Aaron, like I love Ant Edwards, and I did a 180 on Pat Bev. I mentioned this to him too. I like Jaden McDaniels a lot. I think Jalen Noel is like a nice little player. I know everyone was out on D'Lo, and I'm not in on him, but I don't dislike him. I know, yes, I still kind of like D'Lo. I got a soft spot for him.
D'Lo for Kyrie. That's the deal right there.
but that Cat cannot mess with that dude, and now you're adding Gobert. Woo, making it hard to root for that team.
I mean, outside of unlikable though, that's going to be.
It's talented.
I mean, right? Because I assume you have Cat cover some of like the fours. Rudy's guarding the 5, which is good because Cat doesn't really play defense anyways. You got Anthony Edwards. I don't even know who their point guard is. Are they just going to give the keys to Noel? That dude.
I was talking about this with Borland. I think was Pat Bev included in the trade or no?
I thought so. I thought it was Pat. I thought it was Pat Bev Vanderbilt. Or was it just 4 first? And
I got to look at it again. But I think in any case, he might just get waived by Utah, is my guess.
Yeah.
And then comes back, and then they have him.
Maybe. Hey, how about Windhorse knowing that he was like, dude, the blow up's coming. The blow up is coming.
He called it.
Bev is gone. So Pat Bev is gone. But I think I kind of like the idea of turning the keys over to Bev, Beasley, Vandy. The Vandy's a tough one. I do like
that's a little tough one.
So just on the Minnesota side of it, and then we can talk about what Utah's doing. I think like I don't know. I think I like that they're diving in right now. They added Kyle
Yeah.
Anderson too. Man, they're gonna be good.
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo.
UCLA.
Dude, I love
Part of
slow-mo.
the Big Ten now. Big Ten.
I like if they can figure out who's gonna handle the ball. I don't know. I kind of like that squad.
A lot of talent. But
They must really believe in McDaniels too,
Right.
with moving Vanderbilt, because I felt like they kind of did a lot of stuff.
well, so
similar.
wait, Anderson is on the Wolves now, right? That's who he
Yeah.
signed with. He's
Yep.
going to be their point guard. He's just going to be their point.
They're just gonna run.
Yeah, he's a point guard. That's what he is. He's
I
a
know.
point guard. He's a point forward in
Man.
slow motion.
I don't even. Plunge says, "Can I come on and you guys help me pick my?" I don't even know what TDF is, man.
But we're down for it. Yeah.
I feel like people don't really want to hear you. But yo, on the Utah side of stuff, I love what they're doing. They're like, let's just come in last. Let's see if we can come in last.
Picks galore, and Mitchell's still there. You think he's happy? He's excited.
Tour de France. There you go. No, Mitchell's on his way out, dude. Mitchell's gone any day now. Mitchell is gone.
No, they just said so. You missed this, but Woj tweeted that Mitchell's not going anywhere, and Utah plans to build around him. He's not. Woj tweeted that.
Wow. So sell your Donovan Mitchell Top Shot debuts. Sell all of your Donovan. So he's gonna be Devin Booker pre Chris Paul for a couple of years, where he's just gonna put up 30 points and lose game after game after game.
Yep.
Honestly, fuck Utah, man. I love this. I love that Utah sucks.
That they're gonna be out of the they were the top 2 seed in there. Now they're just get them out of here.
So are they gonna move Bogdanovich? I can't
I
imagine. Like if you're really rebuilding, you don't need
No.
Bogdanovich on that squad.
I maybe my guess is they'll still stay competitive with some of the things that they have, as long as it's not impacting their sort of salary cap and stuff. Like, just stay competitive.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, Jordan Clarkson too.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, honestly, in my mind, the T-Wolves and Jazz flip spots in the standings, kind of.
Right.
So that or probably even worse. I imagine the Jazz aren't even going to be in the play-in game. But
where are you at on the Grizzly? I know the Grizzlies. We talked a little bit about some things affecting them, right?
Jaren Jackson Jr. injury sucks. They're still so deep though, and they're a good team. I think they'll be fine. I thought maybe they'd be messing around with the KD thing. I was thinking maybe we saw like a Desmond Bane, Zaire Williams, some picks, and I don't know, Brandon Clark or something like that for KD. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But I still think they're going to be solid. I still think they'll be good.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Jaren Jackson Jr., if he misses time, it'll be like a month of the season. So,
I mean, here's the thing. That's what we always hear. And then it's much longer. So
that's true too.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him till like All-Star break.
But no,
Desmond,
I hope it's not that long.
I hope not. Or
Christmas
Christmas Day or something like that. There's just,
I bet he's back by
NBA players,
November.
they always delay their return.
I hope
always.
That would make me sad.
Yeah, same. But Desmond Bane season, I guess, right? Like
that. Yeah. And Brandon Clark. I mean, Brandon Clark's great.
Brandon Clark.
They still have Xavier Tillman, and he's pretty good. Does anyone want Mike Conley? No. Hey, how about we haven't 82-0. 82-0, baby. 82-0.
I gotta admit, those are some good moves so far. Like I like Brogdon.
Fire.
I like Brogdon. It's a great move.
It's not even if you like Brogdon. It's like you gave up nothing.
Yep.
Daniel Tice, Aaron Nesmith, and what? The pick 28?
You do that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean, Greg's sad, of course. He has a different team that he has to root for now, but
he'll be fine. Plunge, I agree with this. This is a great pickup. Ingles to the Bucks. Like, even if Ingles doesn't play till midway through the year, that's great. That's such a great pickup.
Yep. Spread out the floor a little bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Wait a minute. LiAngelo Ball, he's back, baby. He's on the Hornets. Wasn't he on the Hornets? He was on the Hornets summer league team last year when we were there, right? Yeah, we saw LeVar Ball courtside.
I'm too tired to do the naked HD stuff. I'm too tired. I can't do it today. I already
like
did
the stream naked HD.
Yeah, his Ingles' wife's tweet was so great.
I don't know
if you said, she was the one who was like breaking news that he was signing with the Bucks, but it was like a really sweet and funny tweet. It was really good.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, that's nice. I mean, I thought the Bucks had a really good offseason so far. They bring back Bobby Portis, they bring back Javon Carter. Pat Connaughton, who was like an earlier thing where he opted into a pretty cheap deal, and then Joe Ingles. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
great.
just keep that unit together and run it back. Get
Yeah.
Middleton healthy. Like, you don't got to do anything.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we missed from today. I mean, Zach LaVine signed. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Zion's about to sign. I don't know.
I'm looking to see if there's anything else that's been tweeted. Woj just said that the Jazz gathered 6 first-round picks in the past 24 hours, including 7-footer Walker Kessler, the 22nd overall pick in the 22 draft.
Wow.
22 draft. The Jazz plan to retool the roster around Donovan Mitchell. So that's where it netted out with that many picks.
I bet Donovan's like lighting up a cigar right now. It's like, see you later, Rudy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just happy. Like, I'm gonna cook. Don't need you here.
All done. All right, I think we're gonna call it there, though. I can feel it like right here that I need to be done.
Yeah, it's been like 17,000 streams this week for you.
Man.
3 yesterday, which we saw.
3 yesterday, 2 today. We're done.
And you got to save it for Vegas too.
That's right. Save it for Vegas. I'm excited to break some news about Vegas once we can.
It's coming up.
I know. We got a lot of fun stuff. So stay tuned if you're planning on coming. We're excited about it. For the weekend, I don't know. You might see some F1 content on Sunday. You might see some. Other than that, we'll be back. I don't know. Let's say Tuesday, and then if I'm back on Monday, you'll be excited, But we'll say Tuesday.
Yeah, love that.
But
love that.
Hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July. Happy all the things. Dustin, anything else before we get out of here?
That's it. Watch UFC this weekend.
There we go. That's right. Huge card this weekend. And hopefully Top Shot doesn't do anything that makes us. Who's ready to yell?
Well, the top.
Oh, I thought that went right into the theme song.
No.
It's
abbreviated.
Who's ready to yell?
Well,
so Greg didn't clip the back end.
I love it.
It was just supposed to be a bit.
Who's ready to yell? No, listen, Greg, we got notes.
He's flying. I think he's on a plane right now.
Where's he going?
He had to go back east. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere.
He's on a plane this weekend.
I think he's somewhere. Yeah, he had to fly.
God. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. We out.
Yep. Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so we.
Oh, wait a second. Forgot about the giveaways. We got 2 giveaways. Let's do it.
There we go.
We're
back.
We're back.
Psych.
Here we go. Bang. Sorry, guys. We've been streaming for 90 gosh darn minutes. Giveaway 1. Remember, if you win one of these, shoot me a DM. This one's for the LeBron Gym Hub. Congrats, Gym Hub, on the LeBron. This is for the Danuel House. Who is it's not Danuel. I apologize. This is Daniel. TSD, it's going to Sargon. There you go. Congratulations. All right, now goodbye.
Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so